Hi, my name is Royanna Stratmon and I live in Brookings, South Dakota. And a couple of months ago, when I was sitting in my prayer chair right over here in the morning, it was actually April 3rd, 2025. So depending on when you're watching this, it might be a little dated. I had a DM from God. I don't get very many direct messages from God, but I can tell you on that day that God told me to start writing in my journal. And I always start with a practice of 5 things I'm grateful for. And then I have 10 goals, and I always speak them into existence in the future. And I very clearly heard God tell me to start writing, I am a CIC, Certified Image Consultant. Now, that wasn't unfamiliar to me because I actually have had a certified image consultant help me from time to time over the last few years, and I've utilized her in my small business as well. But this was actually God telling me to start writing that down. And in parentheses on that same line, I said, God, are you really asking me to do this? And so that was April. Then on May 19th, 2025, God told me, you need to ask Todd for that tuition money. Now, this would be like going to school for a J term. It's a very intense time to do something like this or, something similar. And we've been married 36 years this year. And so I found myself counting to 3, holding my breath. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to ask him because it was a significant amount of tuition money. And I kind of like to feel like I'm independent, right? But I texted him to ask if he could take a call. Well, he took the call right away because I'm sure he thought something was wrong with one of our parents or one of the kids, right? And my husband's an engineer, so no stone goes unturned. Many questions were asked. And so as that Monday, May 19th went on, we finally agreed I should apply after I did a bunch of research online. And so I did apply, and the day was going on. And it got close to the end of the day, and I thought maybe I should reach out to the Style by Color Academy and ask if they had received my application. And so I did receive an email back with a message that the founder will be calling you soon. So fast forward, had a fabulous conversation with the founder who I'd been familiar with. I had participated in some of the Style by Color Facebook groups and such, and done some of their, extra workshops they'd done on different fashion things. And she said, well, do you want to start tomorrow? Tomorrow. Well, let's see. As Nana, usually I'm with my grandson on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but unfortunate for my son, but as timing, only God's timing would have it, our son had lost his job the week before. And so my schedule was a little bit more flexible with being able to do this academy training for 2 weeks of school. So I said yes. And I told my son the next day what my new schedule would be. Nana would come before class, do class in his office on the days I was there because he wasn't going to be working in his office at that time. And then of course I'd go back to my Nana hat again after taking that class. So I did that for a couple of weeks. It was not possible for me to be able to do those classes during the week for 2 weeks if I had been on my Nana schedule. And so May 29th, I was certified. I had done all of the assessments, and less than 30 days later, on a Wednesday, June 25th, my company at the time, Ruby Ribbon, announced that we were closing. And so God knew way back on April 3rd what I didn't know I would need. He was preparing me for my next encore, my next second act in life, so to speak, which would be a certified image and style consultant. And so I would just encourage you, if you are ever feeling a little bit of those nudgings, a few of those inklings, to maybe listen. It might not be, being hit over the head by a frying pan or something like that. But if you are hearing a little bit of a whispering, it's not a coincidence. It's probably a God instance. And so I have been blessed to meet so many women already, helping them not only radiate inside as God's girls, but to wear their best colors and to feel radiant and really feel great about themselves on the outside as well. And I would love to help do the same for you also. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I look forward to meeting you either in person or virtually very soon. Have a blessed day.